Everyone. Hello, everyone. First, I would like to say that I do apologize for such a late submission. When I first registered for the class was full, and when I checked back after the session had started, I was able to get into the class. So, even with that being said, which is unexcusable, I still didn't manage my time properly, and I didn't get to post by the deadline. So now I'm just going to post anyway, just so it can be done and so that you guys get to know who I am. And again, I apologize for that. My name is Michelle. A lot of people call me Mitch, but you can say Michelle or Mitch. It doesn't matter to me. I would like to start by letting you know a little bit of background about myself. I am a second year degree student. I'm sorry, not second year. Second degree student here at IUN. I received my first bachelor's from IUN in 2008 in liberal arts. However, I found lately that that degree doesn't work, in my interests, like I thought it would. So I'm back in school now. I'm in the nursing program, and I'm working on my second bachelor's. However, it'll be my third degree. And once I'm done with this, I give myself a break for about a year, and I plan on coming back for my master's. Those are just some goals that I have set for my life. Why I chose speech as a class of choice is because I feel personally that because I work in customer service and talk to so many people and talk all the time, and like now talking in front of the camera and talking to you guys, I think that speech is a good thing. I've had speech classes many times before, and so some things I'm not gonna say that I forgot them or don't know how to use them, but some things it's just like if it's like out of sight, out of mind. So I'm okay with like brushing up on skills, to make sure that I'm doing things right and speaking correctly, because to me that's very important. When you can pose a proper speech and then speak it correctly, to me that means a lot. So those are my goals. As far as the speech class goes, a lot of people ask me, well, they actually said they wouldn't have taken speech, it's boring. But no, of the 6 chapters that I've read thus far, it's not boring. It's very informative. I like the information. I've learned from the information, and I'm going to use that information in my everyday life and move forward. Again, over here, my daughter, we went over the 10 adjectives to describe myself, and believe it or not, I had a hard time coming up with 10. Not really a hard time, but I didn't want to sound so cliche like everyone says. I'm happy, I'm a go-getter, I'm giving. But again, if those are adjectives to describe you, that's just who you are, because actually the ones I just mentioned are the ones I'm going to use first. I will say that I am a giving person. Tied up with giving, it would be loyal and loving. The reason I say that is because I have a husband, 5 children, a grandchild, and 4 foster children. So we have a pretty big family here. And the reason I put all of those first adjectives together is because of the fact of I have a busy life with just my husband and my own children and my grandson, and I have a big enough heart, though, in spite of, to take on another family. So I think all those work hand in hand. In my case, my children are 27, 25. I have 20-year-old twins, a 10-year-old, and a 13-year-old grandson. Now I have a new addition to the family, 4 children ranging from the ages of 1 to 9. It's fun. I started out, I know, right? It's fun, but it could be hectic sometimes. It could be emotionally draining, and it could be stressful. It could be all of the things you think it could be. However, I've learned how to manage it and cope with it and make it work. It's it's tough, but again, and this is how I started with this. Just to give you guys a little background on that, this is how I started with the foster parenting. I would always call the state and in the facility when I first got licensed, because I really didn't want to bring on a family of kids or anything like that. I just actually wanted the license just for something to fall back on in case I could be of assistance to someone in a time of need. I never thought that I would actually call and say, okay, you can bring me out a family of kids. But I always had the desire to have kids, less fortunate or unfortunate children in my house for the holidays, and I will call them and say, you have a sibling group of about 3 or 4 kids, you know, they can spend Christmas with us. I would do things like that. And that's how I got into it. And the kids that I have now, they just came to me December 19th, right before Christmas, which is right up my alley. However, these are kids that I had last year, and they spent Christmas with me, but they had went home for 6 months and they came back. So they're back. But so that's how I got into it. And I just want to just get, share a little bit light on that. That's how I got into it. Another attribute I would say would be sarcastic, but I'm not sarcastic in a mean way. I do it out of fun. Again, I have 20-year-olds, so sarcastic is a part of me because I have them. So I do it out of fun. When they say something to me, I always have to give a sarcastic remark. I can't be totally honest up front. I have to get on the sarcastic part. However, it's not done with any kind of malicious intent at all. It's totally out of fun, and they are all aware. That's just how we have fun together. Go-getter, I think I'm a go-getter, and I'm enthusiastic about being a go-getter, and I've always been like that. I think I'm a go-getter more because even though it's for myself, I think I do it more so I could be a good example slash role model for my children. Because I do believe that children 9 out of 10 are going to pattern their parents. So that's one reason why I'm such a go-getter. And they're aware of a lot of things that I have like set for my life, like my goal plans and things like that. And they actually compliment me and like, "Ma, you never stop." I say, no, I stop, but I'm not going to stop until I have achieved that goal. So I think that's good for children, say, to see their parents like that. So I guess I can tie this into the question of the self-esteem. I don't believe I have any self-esteem issues now, but I will say that as a young girl, I don't recall self-esteem issues too much. But as I was growing up and coming into my teenage years, I do recall horrible self-esteem issues. And I think because of my parents, because of their lack of not being there when it was most important to me, I think that really damaged my self-esteem. But I've overcome that now. It's like a quick example. I remember I played sports all through high school, and my first 3 years of when I first went away to college, I was in basketball, volleyball, and track and field. And my parents, they were very excited when I won the trophy or I got the ribbon or I got the medal. They were very happy about that. They bragged to had gods about, oh, what they daughter did. But this is the part that I don't think they really never understood. They were never there ever. My parents never ever came to a track meet. They never came to a basketball game. They never came to a volleyball game. And I did this for 7 years. They never came to anything. And they didn't think anything was wrong with that. They just wasn't there. But they shared all the glory when it came down to the celebration part of it. At first, I didn't understand it. At first, I thought that was normal. But the older I got, I'm like, wait a minute. And then at all the track meets and basketball games and volleyball games, and when my teammates were receiving their awards and whatever, they had like many people standing, their mothers, fathers, aunties, cousins, brother-in-laws. They had everybody there. And whenever they would call my name, it was only my coaches and my teammates. And it got to the point to where a lot of like when we had like home games and meets, whatever, a lot of students actually came just so they can root me on because my parents were never there. So that was real hurtful to me. And that damaged my self-esteem. It got to a point to where I didn't want to perform and do my best. And I know that if I didn't do my best in the practices, that there's a great chance that I wouldn't be at that game or that meet. My coach would bench me. And I felt better about being benched because it wasn't an embarrassment to me when they called my name and my parents wasn't there. So those are some self-esteem issues that I dealt with. But because of that, my children have been in everything in the book. So I'm very busy. I'm at football games, wrestling matches, basketball games, field games. I'm all over Northwest Indiana with all this stuff for my kids. But I have made it a common practice that I will never miss anything that my children are a part of. Now, there's some times when it's a great sacrifice, and I will have to miss something that's very important, like a class, school, something like that. But I'm determined to always be there for my children because if they do have self-esteem issues, the last thing I want it to be is because of something that I was or was not to them. So that brings about the self-esteem issues. Some favorite shows of mine. Um, of course, it would be Thursday Night TV, which, Scandal. What really drew me to Scandal is actually the role of Olivia Pope. It's just something about her role, but I've always noticed the way she speaks, how she speaks, and how well she is at it, and that's really drawn me to her. And sometimes when I watch Scandal, I actually put myself in her shoes, like, oh yeah, I'm Olivia Pope, or I'm one of the gladiators, and it's just fun. It's just fun TV. My other favorite show is Grey's Anatomy. I love Grey's Anatomy. Well, I'm on into the healthcare field stuff. I love it, but trust me, all the stuff they show you on Grey's Anatomy that happen in the operating rooms, that doesn't happen. But again, it's entertainment and it's good for the soul, and I just like it. And now I have a new love for the new show, How to Get Away with Murder. Don't worry. I don't plan on murdering anyone or getting away with it. I don't plan on murdering anyone, period. That's not even part of my life, my plans, or my goals. I just like the show. I also like her. I can't think of her name right now, but I love the character that she plays. I just like that show as well. So I would like to close by saying to each and every one of you, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to and view the video. And I hope that we see each other again real soon. Have a good semester. Nice chatting with you, and bye-bye.